Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we have Ben Kaos in the house.
So
If you're from Stockton and you've been around, the hip hop scene or just community activism, recent shows, including even Bizzy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, then you know this man right here has done a lot of behind the scenes work, a lot of in front of the scenes also. So,
front line, bro,
uh,
front
for those who may not be familiar, who is Ben Chaos?
line. Ben Kaos, that is me. I am a demon slaying outlaw, revolutionary warrior poet. This motherfucker. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And I rap as well.
All
I,
right.
I rap as well. You know that.
How long you been rapping?
Shit, man. Over 20 years I've been dropping albums, but
Okay.
freestyling for fucking 30 plus. You know what I mean? 30 plus.
All right.
Wrote
So
my first rap song, dude, when I was like nine, I think, 8 or 9.
remember what it was about.
Dude, it was about football. It was about football. All I remember is we rhymed Roger Craig carries the ball like an A, some shit like that. You know what I mean? That's all I remember, bro. Like, whatever.
All right. So here we are, 20 years later.
Shit, fucking
30.
30 some years later. Yeah.
So what are you up to now?
Right now, I started a movement, a rebellion, Kill Fear. I'm sure some of y'all heard about it. Uh, Trying to unite our city, unite Stockton through music, basically. Throwing concerts. Um, like you said, activism, you know what I mean? Shit like that. You know?
So tell me what's the concept of kill fear? What goes behind that?
Kill Fear is basically physical, mental, emotional, spiritual alkalinity. Some call it wellness. I weigh things on a scale of alkaline and acidic, light and dark, positive, negative. And so what I want to do is kill fear is basically the way I live life every day. You know what I mean? I show and prove that shit. Um, so basically it's like physically living alkaline is, eating well, you know what I mean? Not using shitty products and shit. You see I unplugged the Glade clip on and shit. I unplugged the Glade in the studio real quick. Don't use Glade. Don't use that toxic fragrance ass shit. No, fuck all that. Bad for you. Um, physical, exercise, training. You know that you train.
Yeah.
I train. Um, Mental, doing things to keep the mind clear. Some of it overlaps. Emotional, that's the new one, man. That's the one I think we're all suffering with in this country, and that's being able to deal with your emotions from doing the shadow work to basically go back in time and understand yourself, so you can handle your emotions and see reality clearly, and you can make a wise decision on anything that comes your way, So basically, I'm just trying to teach people about shadow work, look inside. A lot of people blame everybody, a lot of blame game going on, but and a lot of people are victimized, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you got to look inside yourself, like, what could I have done different? What did you learn from that? You know what I mean? And that's the emotional part of it. So emotionally wellness is just, it's really, shadow work. Looking in, some people pray, you know what I mean? Prayer, that works for some people. Exercise, like, kind of hits everything, you know what I mean? And then spiritual as well, spiritual wellness. So basically, just trying to live a life, practice what I preach, and lead by example to the best of my ability, and bring awareness to things like CPTSD, that's complex post-traumatic stress. I feel like that's been plaguing our city for fucking ever, you know what I mean? And I feel like people can understand what complex post-traumatic stress is. We can solve a lot of problems.
So tell me a little bit more. What do you mean by complex post traumatic stress? What's the difference between
Yeah, PTSD.
PTSD?
So PTSD, post-traumatic stress, that comes from like a late incident. You know what I mean? Come back from war. Just some direct incident that fucks you up. You know what I mean? Really fucks you up, and then every time you're, you know, Like for example, 4th of July fucks a lot of people up. They hear like the fireworks, it reminds them of bombs and shit like that. Stockton has a lot of PTSD too. We all seen a lot of bad shit. If you're out there in the streets and you're living that life, you're gonna see a lot of shit. But CPTSD is like more something that happens in early childhood, and it comes a lot of times with how we're raised, with the parents or the peers that are around us early, our caregivers, not understanding probably how to just passing down generational trauma. It's like you're mixing like love and pain. You know what I mean? And that fucks us up on a whole new level because it doesn't allow us to have healthy relationships. So then the cycle fucking continues of PTSD and CPTSD. You know what I mean? And I think our city is plagued with that shit. And everyone's talking about they need more cops. They got this. Everyone has a fucking plan, but no one's looking at the shit, telling people to look inside themselves and take accountability, and try to learn and heal that shit, And I mean, I'm here to say heal that shit. Take accountability, forgive yourself, forgive others, heal that shit. That anger, use that as fuel. And identify your goals, face your fears, and fucking go. Kill fear. That's what this shit's about.
So I know that's a lot of what drives you, keeps you motivated. You've been doing a lot of promoting music shows recently.
Yeah.
Instead of just participating in shows, now you're the one organizing them.
Yeah.
And I've been to several of your shows. I know, like I said, you've had big names, legends in the game like Bizzy Bone, X-Raided out of Sacramento. He came last year. I understand he's coming back again.
Yeah, May 25th.
Last time it was in Lodi. This time it was in Stockton.
Stockton this time. So this is that. Stockton, building a bridge, South Sacramento. We're gonna do a song. We're gonna shoot a music video. Definitely check that shit out. Looking forward to that. He's a good dude. You met him.
Yeah.
What's up.
Had the opportunity to interview him. His quite a unique story as well. Definitely not the route of if there's such a thing as an average rapper. I don't think there is, but I would say mainstream, right?
Yeah.
So definitely a story to be learned from as well. And as part of your shows, I know you also put on a lot of local artists.
Yeah.
Tell me what motivates you to do that.
Well, when I started off doing open mics. Doing open mics. And I was selling CDs and shit out the backpack, Metro PCS, at Metro PCS, the mall, Delta. We go out of town and sell them too. People that were doing shows wouldn't give me no fucking shows, so I had to go out and get them, And Linda from Blackwater, shout out Linda, gave me my first show. And 4 people showed up to that shit. And she could tell I was like, I probably looked pretty depressed, because I was like, fuck, man, I pushed it hard. And she said, it's okay, do it again. You can do it again next month, right? And next month I had that shit filled up, you know what I mean? So, then from then on, I went out and I'd go to the local bars out here, venues I wanted to get. And I basically would, I'd sell my CDs to different patrons. And the owners would be like, well, what you doing over there? You know what I mean? Oh shit. So I'd always give the owner a CD and basically I'd kind of tell them, I kind of like figure out what song I think that they would probably relate to, right? And so I'd always shoot them to that song, right? And 9 times out of 10, if they listened to it, they gave me the venue. So I had all the venues in Stockton at one time, damn near, And artists started hitting me up. They started hitting me up, want to open up and get on the shows, and fuck, no one gave me no fucking chance. So 15 years later, I put on at least 1,000 motherfucking artists from in this 209 area, mainly from Stockton, whether they're rappers or bands, comedians, it don't matter, I'll put them on, give them a chance, see what they can do, It's all about the hustle though, you know what I mean? Everyone's gotta, put their work in.
And that's a good thing that I've noticed. You don't, even though your personal background is more, it's the hip hop genre, but that's not all you focus on. You've actually had alternative band concerts and all local artists. Battle of the Bands was the last one, if I recall correctly.
Well, I do multi-genre shows every time. I always have bands on my shows, I started doing that years and years ago, and it made the environment better, and then also the artists started respecting each other, They could network with each other. The crowd was more diverse, which was led to a better, just a overall. It's all about the uniting thing. You know, we're trying to unite people through music because music's a big uniter. You know, and sadly, the powers that be been using it as a fucking divider. You know, um, as well as a lot of other shit, politics, as you know, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, it's just that what you get from me and what you're gonna get from Kill Fear is that pure, authentic, raw shit. Period. You know what I mean? And like, it's not gonna change. You know, that's not gonna change.
What would you say has been the most rewarding aspect of organizing, putting on shows?
Putting on shows, you know, some of the excitement and some of the artists that haven't never performed yet. You know what I mean? Like I said, I remember the first time I performed Boiler Room. You know what I mean? Well, first time in front of a good sized audience, and it was an open mic, and I remember like I think I had 3 songs, and I fucking got through that shit like a fucking G. You know what I mean? And then I rap my shit for reals. You know what I mean? And I mean, there's no fucking backup track. You know, it's just the instrumentals and maybe some ad libs. And I got through that motherfucker, and I probably like had my eyes closed some of the time, like probably like, you know, trying to like remember the shit, you know, but I felt that energy I got from that carried on for the next fucking month. And I'm like watching that with some of these youngsters and other people coming into the game. So if I can provide that for them, that's a beautiful thing. Um, Also, like, you know, bringing out some of these headliners, you know, like that, you know, they became friends of mine, you know, that are really good people. Like I don't like a lot of people that I've met in the music industry from outside of our area, you know, but people like Bizzy Bone and X-Raided, they're good people and they're on the same trajectory that I'm on. You know what I mean? I mean, I count them as fellow demon slayers too. You know what I mean? And so that was dope. I mean, considering both artists, I feel like had influence on me as a child. You know what I mean? So that was good. Personally for me as well, like in my music, having my daughter on stage with me a couple of times singing the hook, that was like the best moment, you know, because she started off this journey with me. I mean, I was rapping and singing to her 22 years ago while I was feeding her the bottle. You know what I mean? I was feeding her the bottle, and a lot of people know our story, and I don't want to go too into it, but um, you know, it was a, you know, she's my heart, man. You know what I mean? And that's how I met you. Our kids went to school together. You know what I mean? And that was a beautiful moment, you know, the first time she was on stage with me. And yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, seeing, you know, a successful show in Stockton when the crowd's feeling it and there's ebb and flow and the energy, and it's a good night in Stockton is a beautiful fucking thing. Because a lot of people act like there's nothing to do, or they feel like it's so violent or whatever, and they, you know, don't want to come out for whatever reason, or the energy's bad, or there's jealousy, or there's envy, or it's clicky, all this shit does exist. Um, that's not at my shows. That's not at my shows. You know what I mean? And you know, I feel like I earned that shit. You know, man, my boots were laced by some real motherfucking OGs out here. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful for what they taught me and the guidance. And I think people respect the fucking movement. They respect the movement, and we're gonna continue this shit. This movement's for Stockton. It's from Stockton, and let's take our experience. I want to take our experience, our Stockton experience, like we talked about CPTSD, PTSD, and all this shit, and let's push that out to the world because a lot of these other places are utilizing avatars and actors, but we have these authentic stories, man. And all you got to do is just really be yourself, you know, and then you go perform anywhere and they're gonna love you. I promise you that. If you artists out here, go be yourself and perform. You can perform anywhere and they're gonna love you. They're gonna see the lion heart in you, but you gotta show it.
So what's some of the uh, challenges, right?
Challenges, yeah. A lot of fucking challenges. A lot of
Tell
obstacles.
tell me about some of those. I imagine it can't be easy. You know, Stockton is known for being a city that is not conducive to
Well,
events, to businesses, to business owners, promoters, you know, artists. What's been your experience?
we can start. We can start with Kwin. You know what I mean? We can start with Kwin. I'm gonna say straight up, fuck K-Win. Fuck you. DJs are cool though. I like the DJs. But the reality is, man, we used to go try to get our music in there back in the day. I'd go fucking pull up in there and give them dope ass songs, man. Songs that were definitely radio playable. And they never supported any of us. And they never supported the people before me, like the pioneers before me in the music, you know. And the pioneers before me, you know, they did a lot, man. They did a lot, and they don't get the fucking credit they deserve out here, man. And you know, now a lot of the youngsters, thank God, are finally like making a fucking dent. I love it. I love seeing these youngsters doing what they're doing, man. They're making a dent. But some of the pioneers, you know, the ones that I looked up to, they don't get the credit they deserve, you know. And that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And K-Win should have facilitated that. You know what I mean? Because that was back then. That was the place that had all. That was what people were listening to. Remember, in the fucking 80s and 90s, that's what they were listening to was K-Win. There wasn't the internet, you know. And they could have ended. So we had a whole city, you know, that was listening to K-Win, and they weren't playing none of the shit. And we had fucking dope artists out here, and they weren't playing their shit. So people probably assumed that there was no one doing no shit. So the masses, the listeners of music out here that weren't other artists or really in the streets, probably didn't fucking know no better. They didn't know. So the city wasn't able to put no one on like they should have as a whole. And K-Win is very responsible for that, because it would have been better if they didn't even exist. You know what I mean? If there wasn't even a fucking situation like that. You know, and then so that over the years that kept happening, and then they started having some like unsigned at 9, and they did a little bit of things here and there. You know, they did a little bit, but it wasn't enough. And so the first couple shows I had recently, you know, with Bizzy Bone and X-Raided and even Riff Raff, I fucking offered them free interviews, brother, free interviews, you know, and they fucking turned the interview down. So I'm like, you really don't want to fucking like support shit? Because you play Bizzy Bone on the first of every month since 1994, motherfuckers, and you don't want the interview. So what the fuck is that really, and what's really going on? But at the end of the day, they're answering the industry they're industry puppets themselves, you know what I mean? And they're answering to that shit. But like I said, the DJs really wanted to do it. Shout out to the DJs. I talked to them personally, and they really wanted to do it, but they weren't allowed to by their higher ups, you know what I mean? And their higher ups are really just, you know, the ones out here, you know, pieces of shit for that, you know what I mean? And that's just the reality of it. But you know what? Who came through with the interviews? Motherfucking 209 Times came through. So a lot of people out there talking a lot of shit about you guys, bro. But you've always supported me, dude, and you supported this fucking movement. And when I was fighting for the water in this fucking town, when they poisoned our water, and I was out there fighting for that shit, you were right there in my corner, bro. You know what I mean? And I got pictures of you smiling and shit, happy as fuck when I was going after Tubbs and these motherfuckers. And so, K-Win didn't do that. The city council didn't do that. I mean, so at the end of the day, it's like, they're not valuing what we have here that's valuable. You know what I mean? And it's because there's a lot of back end money deals and stupid ass shit going on, you know, and like, man, you can still make money off of us. I mean, we could export our talent, which we have talent in all genres, whether it be music, comedy, fucking sports. I mean, all that shit can be exported, and then money will come back in. And if you make people feel good about the city, they'll spend money here. Shit ain't that fucking complicated. You know what I mean? But they make it hella complicated. And so yeah, long story short, you know, fuck them for that. Fuck K-Win for that shit. You know, that's real. I'm really gonna say this now. Fuck with us, fuck with this movement, boycott K-Win. Boycott them. Don't fucking listen to their shit. Fuck that. Boycott that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys mostly listen to the internet anyway. You don't need that shit. So boycott K-Win, because honestly, boycotting and where we spend our fucking dollar, that is your vote. That is your vote. You know what I mean? 1,000%. So as soon as we kind of can unite, maybe we won't have $6 a gallon gas prices on the nation spectrum, right? But all I can speak of now, is what's in our city, right? Let's keep it local, right? So shop local, spend local, support local. You know, I mean, come on, that's your vote.
So speaking of local, I know this next show you got with X-Raided is going to be in Stockton, but the last several shows you've had have been outside of Stockton. Why is that?
Well, I mean, there was I had to go out to Lodi to High Water, which Steve, was the owner of High Water. They sold it, but he was the owner, and he's a great dude. He's from Stockton. He lives in Stockton, and he gave us his concert venue to do shows. And fuck, it was like pulling teeth in Stockton. It was like pulling teeth trying to bring these artists here at that time, And I talked to different people, and I was trying to get in contact with the city manager, any of these motherfuckers to do something that they were able to get $20 million from Miracle Mom somehow, whatever that was, right? And I don't know what the fuck happened with that, but a fraction of that going to local music, you know what I mean? And I don't, give it to the venues so the venues can pay their artists or the venues can bring people out or do whatever. You don't got to give me the fucking money. I don't want the fucking money from them. You know what I mean? But give it to the local businesses that are venues here so they can pay their artists, pay their DJs, pay for promotion. And then you can start having a scene out here because the talent out here is immaculate. And quite honestly, I heard some old stuff from Doja Click, back in the day, and they were doing some shit. And I know for a fact LA was stealing some shit from them. You know what I mean? Because I heard the old tapes, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just them. It was a lot of them cats, man. So it was just like, why is that happening? You know what I mean? That doesn't need to happen. So if we can just bang Stockton one time and we can just unite one time as a whole, then we could really bring money to the city. And that's what we really do need here is money to the city. I'm watching these businesses like struggle, man. The quality, everything's going down. They're struggling. I want to help these local businesses out so much, but I see the stress in their faces, dude, because I fuck with a lot of them. You know what I mean? I see the stress in their faces and they're trying, man. So instead of going to fucking Walmart or whatever, find you some local store, man, to go to, and that's you really got to internalize that. It's like every walk of life needs to internalize that, and really understand. And I mean, instead of going to fast food, there's a bunch of restaurants out here. We have great restaurants out here, I mean, don't say it's too expensive. Go to a fucking taco truck then. You know what I mean? That's local. Go to a taco truck.
Best taco trucks.
Best taco trucks in the country, dude, in Stockton. So I mean, so it's not that. Everyone, there's excuses. No excuses. Just accountability. Let's make change. Let's make a change. That's what we deserve it. Like every Stocktonian deserves it. You know what I mean? Like you deserve it. You know what I mean? You deserve it. You got, we wear our hearts on our sleeve out here. We wear our hearts on our fucking sleeve. We're the realest fucking city. I've been to a lot of cities. It's the realest city there is. Authentic human beings. We deserve to get what's ours. And I'm going to take it, man. I'm going to the castle doors to kick that shit down. So come with me. You know what I mean? Come with me. Y'all invited. That's why I turned Erebus into Kill Fear. It's for everybody. You know what I mean? It's for everybody. Just live that lifestyle, And
So
believe in it.
you mentioned making a change. I'm sipping on a nice little fine quality spirits of some Blue Label whiskey, right?
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Offered you some, but
Yeah.
so explain to me, and just so the audience can know, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because you're drinking juice, and you said that next week or next month will be a year since you hadn't taken a drink.
Yeah, next month. Yeah, I decided a year ago to take a year off of alcohol for a bunch of reasons. I wanted to, cleanse the body, cleanse the liver. I do love alcohol, as you know. You know what I mean? But I hear a lot of people talking about being powerless, whether it's in the church or AA, powerless. I don't believe that shit. I believe that we are not powerless. You know what I mean? So I wanted to prove that, there's nothing that I'm powerless against. You know what I mean? There's nothing I'm powerless against. And I can only lead by example. Whatever AA works for some people. Church works for some people. If it works for you, good. But I'd refuse, if I'm talking about killing fear, identifying fear, I refuse to believe that I'm powerless over anything. Now, when you're in that mind frame, when you haven't dealt with some issues, you haven't done the shadow work, your free will might be skewed, and maybe you are a little powerless in those moments because you didn't do it. So you're prone to these reactions, these survival mechanisms that you grew to become accustomed to as a child. They saved you. You don't want to let them go. You know what I mean? But once you do that shadow work, you identify you're not powerless. Don't let no one make you believe you're powerless. Your heart beats strong. You know what I mean? Your heart beats strong.
So when it'll be a year next month, Jay?
In June.
Oh, June.
In
Okay.
June. So we're gonna see how that. We'll see if I decide to have
Keep
some
it going.
drinks or what. Keep it going. I don't know, man. We'll see. I think it's a good thing. I've been able to get a lot more accomplished. I think I'm having less fun, but I'm having more success. Less fun, more success, and I think life is about purpose, you know. And in your path to purpose, there's moments of joy, right? And joy outweighs pleasure. You know what I mean? Um, I think we should be searching for joy and purpose over pleasure. I'm not saying don't dabble in pleasure, you know what I mean? But joy and purpose is what's important in this world, you know what I mean? I know that to be a fact, you know, in my experience.
So congratulations on that, right? That's not
I mean, you
something
know,
everybody can commit to and stick to.
I mean, I think everyone can, but I don't know. I don't feel like I should be congratulated for it. I just, it was a necessity. I mean, it was the right thing to get this to the next level, you know? I mean, a lot of times I've kind of shot myself in the foot, you know, and we lost momentum in certain things over the years. You know, I made decisions with my thinking they're in my heart, but they probably were more in my ego, my mind, you know, that I feel slowed me down. And no, I ain't no more of that shit. It's full speed ahead to destiny, brother. You know what I mean? We're trying to change the world, you know. So that's the
So
goal.
speaking of that, I know you're definitely, a fixture of the community of Stockton for sure. Branching out doing shows in Lodi, Modesto, Sacramento, even the Bay Area, I believe.
Yeah, so just
For the local tool and I scene, who you mentioned up and coming local artists, or just what's for our audience? What is just off the top of your head some artists that you can think of that you want people to keep an eye?
they should already know about the ones that are already doing it. You know, they know about J-Bo, they know about EBK, they know about Haiti Baby, they know about MB Nail. Shout out to all of them. I love what y'all are doing. I fucking love it. I love seeing these kids like 300,000 followers and their fucking shows are like sold out. I fucking love that shit. It's a beautiful thing. And I knew J-Bo's dad, Rory, you know, rest in peace, Rory, you know. I know he's looking down on his son and he is smiling. I'll tell you that right now. There's a shit ton of local talent that hasn't been recognized yet and known yet, you know. So this Saturday, if you guys want to come check some out, I got like 30 different artists on our spring Kill Fear concert. It's at Hotbox 811 Weber. We got a whole lineup. I'll check the flyer out on my Instagram page. Um, all those artists, I believe, are up and coming. And I got faith in them. I got faith in them. They're working hard. They believe in this. Life is hard. This music game is hard right now, and they are working hard. You know, I don't want to say a couple names because there's so many of them, and I want you to go look at the flyer and look down at the flyer because I'm going to be leaving a lot of people out because there's that fucking many in my city. You know what I mean? There's that many.
And props for that because ever since you mentioned Linda, and ever since Blackwater Cafe closed, she was really the only one in town that was even providing a venue, open mic, or just local talents perform for eclectic from all genres. And you're really the only one that I can think of that comes to mind that's really keeping that going.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do. We want to start. We're starting an open mic at Coach's Lounge. You know, the city has to get behind that for us to do it, though. We can't go there and there be 10 people. You know what I mean? It's just, and I'm thinking maybe we're going to revisit that in the fall. You know what I mean? When I get the right, um, I need to find, actually, you know what? Someone that really wants to run an open mic, that really, really has the passion and that's what they want to do. You know what I mean? And maybe they're retired or maybe, and they love music or maybe they want to try to make it as a business as well. That could be done too. They could talk to you about that as well, you know? But feel free to holler at me, you know what I mean? Because I really, the few open mics that we had, man, that brought joy to my heart, man. I'm watching the, you know, and usually it's hard to sit, to be at any kind of like show situation when not a lot of people show up, you know, because you're like, fuck, man, you put the work in, no one showed up. But watching some of these artists for the first time just brought me back, man. And I went rock. I did something. I went rock, man. I went and jumped up on there and did long ass sets. I was like, fuck it. I want to do some like back in the day, you know. I don't care if there's 8 people here. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go do that shit. So that was a beautiful moment. Um, that was beautiful. But definitely this Saturday, 8/11 Weber, go to that shit. You know what I mean? Support the artists on that bill. They're working hard. They're trying. I have them selling tickets, and a lot of them have sold tickets. It's very hard these days to sell tickets. The economy is terrible. So support them. You know, show up. You can pay at the door.
What time again?
It starts at 6. Doors open at 6 o'clock. It goes until like midnight. We got a couple bands and a shit ton of rappers, and there's a lot of talent on the bill. I'm not just saying that. There's a lot of talent on the bill, you know, and it's going to be something special. And then directly after that, we talked about earlier, May 25th at Coach's Lounge, downtown Stockton, X-Raided. Go to the link in my bio. Eventbrite tickets available now. It's going to sell out because it's not the biggest venue. So if you want to get an intimate situation, you know, if you're a fan of X-Raided, Strange Music, or myself, or any of the other artists that are going to be on there, or you need VIP, go to Eventbrite, ASAP. It's going to be in the links in my bio. And for you cats in Modesto, or you fans of Bone Thugs and Harmony and Bizzy Bone, June 22nd, Persuasion Brew. That spot we had a great show there. We had a great festival there. Yeah, we just had a great show there, and they're very receptive there. It's a beautiful thing, and we're bringing out Bizzy Bone for Bone Thugs, and that's going to be epic. June 22nd. So also look for the Eventbrite in about a week or two. We'll have that up there. And July 13th at Persuasion, we're having our Kill Fear Summer Festival. 3 stages. We're going to have wrestling. You know what I mean? We're going to have some fucking boxing. It's going to be an epic. Hella vendors. If you want to be a vendor, you want to sponsor, hit us up. You know, go DM us. It's good. If you're an artist that wants to get on the bill, hit us up ASAP. It's booking fast. We're already like 60% booked. There's going to be 1,000 people there for sure. It's going to be fat. We had 650 in the rain. In the fucking rain, we had 650. You know what I mean? So, in the summertime, it's going to be fat.
And they can hit you up where? How can you get in contact?
I mean, go to my Instagram page. Just hit me up on Instagram, or hit up KillFear777 Instagram. Just DM us. It's good. Or DM me directly right now. I'm still easy to get a hold of. And if you need some clothing, if you need some Kill Fear clothing, if you want some armor, you know what I mean? You need some fucking armor. KillFear777.com. It's we got four items available on there if you want some armor on there to rep the movement. I mean, the movement's for everybody out here. You know, it's if you believe in these concepts, you believe in if you're tired of this fucking divide that's gone through not just our city but the whole fucking country and the whole world through these fucking puppet masters turning everybody against everybody. If you are against that shit, you know, and you want to unite, then fuck with us, you know, or create your own shit. It's whatever. Be your own energy, but whatever it is, be authentic with that shit, and know who your enemy is. Know your enemy. You know what I mean? Obstacles, though, brother. Obstacles. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
They're there to be overcome.
They're there to be overcome, man. I know.
There's no glory without the grit.
Yeah.
Anything else on the horizon, or this has you occupied currently?
I got a brand new music video out. It's called CPTSD. I want all y'all to go listen to it. I haven't used any promotional dollars. I'm trying to do it all organically. I want to see if we can get this motherfucker up to like 20,000, views or something. Let me know what you think in the comments on YouTube. Just look up Ben Kaos, CPTSD. If you don't know, it's Kaos. Spell it right. And yeah, check that out, man. I think it's a lot. Some psychologists have been hitting me back. They've been using it in their videos, for online videos, training. I think it explains what I'm trying to explain when it comes to CPTSD better than I can do speaking. I think music has a way of that, you know? I think I could sit on a fucking soapbox and I could speak at you, I could talk at people, and people don't really want to be talked at, you know what I mean? They really don't want to be told what to do, but music has a way of making it relatable, you know what I mean? And I've always aimed to paint the vivid picture from my personal experience, and I hope that I do a good job at that. I mean, I'm doing my job. I'm painting a vivid picture, and the people that the audience that can relate, it's my job. I want to get it out to them. You know what I mean? Like I'm paying it forward, brother. You know what I mean? Music helped me as a child. Get through a lot of fucking shit. So I'm paying it forward. I'm on music that, especially on music that is uplifting, that part of it, or even has any kind of level of catharticness. You know what I mean? Where people can relate in that level. I just, that's what we want. You know what I mean? As artists, that's what we want.
I bet. Absolutely. So, as we wrap it up, any last shout outs for this episode you want to say it out?
Yeah, man.
Anybody you want to thank or just
I want to thank
encourage?
I want to encourage. Yeah, I hope I encouraged a lot of you. But I want to shout you guys out. Number one, first and foremost, 209 Times for all the support over the years. Especially, no one else was, no other media source as far as there's been podcasts. You know what I mean? There's been podcasts, but with a big audience. No other people that have a big ass audience. You know what I mean? We haven't really had any of that. So I want to thank you for that. All the venues that have over the years that have given me the opportunity to put on shows out here. I'm still in contact with some of the owners. Some of those businesses have been sold. Obviously, COVID fucked a lot of shit up. All the artists that put in their work day in and day out. All my mentors, people that came before me, that I've gained wisdom from their experience or whatnot. All the local businesses in Stockton that just keep fighting, man. Just keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. Don't stop. You are appreciated by at least some of us. You know what I mean? You are appreciated. Artesian Health Store is a good example. Shout out Artesian Health Store, man. I've been my own doctor for 22 years now. I've been my own doctor, and that's where I go to get my products. You know what I mean? And definitely, you should too. Become your own doctor. Become your own doctor, because only you know your body. You know what I mean? That's real too. But shout out my whole family, dude. My Kill Fear family, my Kill Fear team. My daughter, my girl, everybody. Shout out my whole fucking city of Stockton. Shout out all the people that everyone at the Diaz Academy. You know what I mean? Shout out Steve Heath, though. He, my sensei, Steve Heath. Shout out fucking Victor. Shout out Andre. Everyone that's ever taught me anything with that martial arts stuff. I learned a lot in martial arts, man. I learned a lot about myself doing martial arts. Shout out Nick Diaz. You know what I mean? Nathan. Randy, Lucas. You know what I mean? I'll probably forget a hell of people.
Rudy.
You know what I mean? Rudy. You know what I mean? I'll probably forget a lot of people, but you're not for like I said, you're in my heart. If you've ever supported what I'm doing in any way, you're definitely in my heart, and I got a lot going on right now. So,
well, good to see, man. Keep it moving. Yeah. Keep the momentum going, man. Wish you continued success, and thank you for what you're doing for the community. And it is a community enhancement which you're providing, and it's good to see the support that you get, and hopefully everybody will see this and be more in tune and supporting even more after this, and the local artists that you're supporting as well. So I want to thank you for coming in. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. So salute to everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode. Again, you can catch the homie right here, Instagram at KillFear777 or Ben Kaos, spelled Kaos.
Yeah.
Hit him up if you're an artist, if you're a vendor. This is the man with the plan. So stay safe, 209, and keep it striving. Peace. All right.